Have you ever wondered how people clothed themselves in the days before sewing or weaving? Imagine you're walking through a dense, ancient forest. The air is cold, the ground soft underfoot. There are no factories, no machines, no modern tools. Yet there are remnants of a thriving civilization all around you. Shelters built from natural materials, remnants of fires where meals were cooked and scattered about, seemingly out of place. Pieces of clothing, not rags, but well-made garments designed to keep their wearers warm and dry. It's easy to imagine these people merely surviving, eking out an existence in a harsh world. But evidence suggests something quite different. These people weren't just surviving, they were thriving. They had crafted clothing from natural materials, ensuring they were not only clothed, but also comfortable and protected from the elements. But how did they make clothing without stitching, without fabric, only using trees? This is a question that has puzzled archaeologists and anthropologists for years. How could a civilization so deeply connected to nature have developed such advanced techniques without leaving any written records or physical evidence behind? The truth is stranger and smarter than anything you've seen in a survival show. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to delve deep into a topic that will challenge everything you think you know about survival, clothing, and human ingenuity. Stay tuned, because in this video we're going to reveal how ancient people used trees to make clothing. We'll explore the incredible techniques they employed, the surprising durability of their creations, and the cultural significance of their clothing traditions. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos of the Forgotten Path. Let's dive into the fascinating world of ancient textiles. For centuries, scientists believed that sewing and weaving were essential to the creation of clothing. In fact, it was widely assumed that the invention of the needle and thread marked a significant leap forward in human civilization. However, recent discoveries have revealed a different story. In the 1960s, excavations at the Neolithic site of Shanxi in China uncovered fragments of a mysterious fabric. What made these fragments so remarkable was that they predated the invention of both the loom and the needle by several thousand years. These early examples of woven fabric raised questions about the origins of textile production and challenged the long-held belief that complex tools were necessary for clothing creation. Further evidence emerged with the discovery of grooved bone needles dating back to the Paleolithic era. These needles, found in various parts of the world, including Europe and Africa, pushed back the timeline for the use of needles in clothing production. Grooved bone needles suggest a more sophisticated understanding of textiles, as barbs could be attached to them, allowing for more secure stitching. However, despite these discoveries, the exact methods used to produce clothing before the advent of stitching or weaving remained a mystery. Scientists were baffled by the lack of evidence, and the absence of tangible proof left them scratching their heads. Then, in the heart of a remote jungle in Laos, a team of researchers stumbled upon a barkcloth, a type of fabric made from the inner bark of trees. This discovery led to a groundbreaking realization. Ancient people had developed a technique to turn tree bark into a material that looked and felt like linen or hemp fabric. But how did they do it? It turns out that ancient people discovered a unique method of processing tree bark, which allowed them to create a durable and versatile material suitable for clothing. By stripping thin layers of bark from select trees like mulberries, figs, and inner bark of paper trees, they managed to obtain long, continuous strips of fibrous material. The key to this process lay in the gentle removal of the bark. Ancient people understood that by peeling away the outer layer of the bark, they could access the softer, more pliable inner layer. This technique prevented them from damaging the tree, allowing it to continue growing while providing them with a valuable resource. But the transformation from rough bark to usable material was far from easy. Once they had stripped the bark from the trees, ancient people embarked on a labor-intensive process that tested their patience and strength. You might be wondering why they chose these particular trees. Well, it turns out that these tree species have a special quality that makes them ideal for barkcloth production. The inner bark of these trees consists of long, strong fibers that can be easily separated and woven together. Additionally, these trees grow abundantly in tropical and subtropical regions, making them a readily available resource for ancient cultures. The process of turning bark into clothing involves soaking the bark in water for several days. This step was crucial in softening the material and making it pliable enough to be worked into cloth. Once the bark had been thoroughly soaked, they laid the strips out in the sun to dry. As the bark dried, it contracted, causing the fibers to tangle and form a thick, sturdy sheet. At this point, the bark was still too rough and coarse to be used for clothing. So ancient people employed a technique that was both ingenious and time-consuming. Using smooth stones and carefully carved wooden mallets, they began pounding the bark rhythmically and patiently. This process not only smoothed the surface of the bark, but also helped align the fibers, creating a material that resembled cloth. The entire process of creating barkcloth was a communal effort. Men, women, and children would work together, each contributing to the production of this essential resource. The rhythmic pounding of the bark was not just a means to create clothing, it was a form of community building and cultural expression. Now let's talk about the finished product, barkcloth. This material was incredibly versatile and could be used for a variety of purposes. It was often used to make loincloths, skirts, and other types of wraps for both men and women. Additionally, barkcloth served as a practical and decorative element in rituals and ceremonies. The durability of barkcloth was impressive. When properly made, a single piece of barkcloth could last for generations. The tightly woven fibers made it resistant to tears and abrasions, ensuring that it could withstand the rigors of daily life. Moreover, barkcloth was breathable and naturally antimicrobial, making it suitable for use in hot, humid climates. What's even more fascinating is that the barkcloth production wasn't just limited to one region. Similar techniques were employed in various parts of the world, including Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Islands. Each region developed its own unique style and patterns, incorporating local materials and cultural motifs. For example, in Africa, barkcloth was an integral part of many cultures, particularly among the Dogon and the Cuba people. Among the Dogon, barkcloth played a significant role in their religious beliefs and social customs. The Cuba people, renowned for their intricate barkcloth designs, used a technique known as raffia weaving. This method involved weaving strips of barkcloth with raffia palm fibers, creating highly durable and intricately patterned textiles. Similarly, in Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands, barkcloth production was a vital aspect of daily life. The indigenous peoples of these regions utilized the bark of trees such as the paper, mulberry, and the hibiscus to create a wide range of clothing and accessories. Barkcloth became not just a necessity, but a symbol of cultural identity and artistic expression. Despite its importance and longevity, barkcloth making gradually faded into obscurity as newer materials and manufacturing processes emerged. The advent of modern textiles, along with the introduction of sewing machines and synthetic fabrics, made barkcloth seem outdated and time-consuming. However, in recent years, there has been a growing interest in reviving traditional crafts and sustainable practices. As people become more aware of the environmental impact of mass-produced textiles, they are turning to ancient techniques, such as barkcloth making, as a more eco-friendly alternative. Today, artisans and designers are experimenting with natural materials, incorporating barkcloth into contemporary fashion pieces and home decor items. The durability, unique texture, and inherent beauty of barkcloth are qualities that are highly sought after by those looking for distinctive and environmentally conscious products. It's important to acknowledge that barkcloth production wasn't just about practicality or aesthetics. It was deeply ingrained in the cultural and spiritual beliefs of many societies. The process of creating barkcloth was often seen as a sacred ritual, connecting the makers to the natural world and their ancestors. For instance, among some Pacific Island cultures, barkcloth was used to create tapestries that depicted ancestral stories and served as a reminder of their cultural heritage. The intricate patterns and symbols embedded in the cloth held deep cultural significance, transmitting traditional knowledge and values from one generation to the next. As we continue to explore the fascinating world of ancient textiles, it's crucial to recognize the cultural richness that barkcloth represents. It's not merely a piece of fabric, but a tangible link to the history, beliefs, and artistry of indigenous communities. Preserving and celebrating these traditional crafts not only ensures the survival of these cultural treasures, but also promotes cross-cultural understanding and appreciation. So the next time you come across a piece of barkcloth, take a moment to appreciate the ingenuity, skill, and cultural significance embodied in this ancient textile. Let it serve as a reminder of the diverse and innovative ways in which humans have harnessed nature's resources to meet their needs and express their creativity. What do you think of this amazing clothing technique? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video informative. Subscribe to The Forgotten Path for more captivating videos that bring ancient wisdom to your fingertips.